Welcome to The Preferred List, a podcast about the people behind the best wedding days. I'm James, a wedding filmmaker. I've spent years in the industry working alongside incredible vendors, and this show is all about real conversations with the ones who make it happen. Whether you're a vendor or a couple, you'll get honest insight, good stories, and maybe a little inspiration along the way. Let's meet today's wedding vendor. Hey Bethany, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad to have you on. Bethany is a part of Bethany Cower events. So she's a wedding event planner. Love it. So fun. And I'm so excited to hear all of the things, all of your experience and helpful things for vendors, helpful things for couples. But before we jump into that, we are here at Harmony Forge Inn, which is so exciting. Harmony Forge Inn is nestled into the rolling hills of Bellefonte. It's just 15 minutes away from Penn State, and it features a historic house built in 1795, a newly remodeled Creekside Lodge, and a rustic barn with some modern touches. And if you haven't met the owners here, Bill, Casey, amazing people. And they really do care way more than just like, here's a spot for you to have a party and get married. They care about you, the couple. So if you're looking for a venue outside of State College, Pennsylvania, just to be clear, definitely check out Harmony Forge. But we're here today with Bethany. How's it going?
It's great.
Yeah.
No, you really aren't lying. Like, they are the sweetest people. This is a really, really special place. I'm not just saying that because I've had a plethora of weddings here. I love coming here. I would say, like, top three favorite weddings I've ever done. Two of them have been here. So
That's
I
awesome.
love it here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun. And they're making changes all the time, improvements all the time.
I was here a week ago and
That looks
I literally
different.
showed up. I was like, Casey,
What's going on?
what are the pink flowers outside?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's so fun.
amazing.
So you have an event planning business. I'm so excited to dive into all things planning. I feel like planners have this like really special like spot in the industry. You guys like you have your fingers on like a lot of different
Oh,
places
yeah,
and
we
like
do.
you have so much like input from different vendors too. So I'm excited to get into that. But before we do, at one point you weren't a planner and now now you are a planner.
Yeah.
Walk me through like how all of this started with Bethany Cower events.
Yeah. So when I found out I was doing this podcast, I was like, wait, how long has it been? I actually had to like go into my Instagram feed.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
when was my first post? So I got married when I was 21, in 2016. And I just ended up, friends were like, oh, hey, you got married, you've planned a wedding. Like, can you help me? And I was like, yeah, of course. So the years kind of went on. And then I would like, friends would say, like, hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to have a fun girls' weekend? Something like that. And I'd be like, oh, sorry, I have a wedding. And they'd be like, oh, whose wedding? Like, why weren't we invited? I'm like, oh, it's so and so's wedding. They're like, who is that? I'm like, honestly, I don't even know. And they're like, Bethany, are you planning weddings for like other like acquaintances? Like, our friends. And I was like, I mean, they asked and they're like, maybe you should do something with
Yeah.
this. And I was like, well, I guess you could be right.
Yeah.
So I started Bethany Cower Events in 2018. We've come a long way. We went through COVID.
Hmm.
That was wild. I do have a couple planners that work alongside with me. There's two of them specifically who have been on board for, oh my gosh, three-fourths, like 75% of the Bethany Cower events lifetime. And we're bringing on a couple more. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
It's funny to hear how many we started in 2018 as well. It's just funny to hear like how many businesses started in that like 2016, 2018, like somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
Just
well, we were so whenever, I mean, because we're about the same age, I
yeah.
think, right? And whenever social media was like just kind of starting, we were like, oh, we can make a business out of it. So, like, this is how I can market myself. Like, I'm good at something. Let me market it to all my other friends who are friends with friends. And then it just becomes these side hustles that turn into something much bigger. And we're like,
Yeah.
oops, did we did that?
It is funny. It is funny because I feel like there's people that just have that mindset like, "Oh, let me just try this." Or it's like, "Oh, this is going well." And then your friends are like, "No, you're like crushing this. You should definitely just like
Yeah.
go all in."
Yeah.
Um, so you had your own wedding. Were you like planning a bunch of stuff, doing kind of like the wedding planner stuff for your own
Oh,
wedding?
yeah. I didn't have a wedding planner per se. And honestly, I didn't really even consider, hiring a wedding planner. I just kind of thought like, oh, And that's what's crazy is like everybody who's getting married is normally getting married for the first time. So no one knows what they're doing. Like we can't expect you to plan a wedding and have any idea of what you're
Yeah,
doing.
for sure.
So I just like ran with it and I thought was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I relied a little bit on the person who was running the venue. But other than that, I just had to kind of like figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's why I got married younger. People were like, "Oh, you've already had a wedding. Like I can ask you questions." So that's just how it happened.
It's so funny. It's so funny. And you can probably look back and see like if I would have had a planner,
Oh my
a lot
gosh.
of stuff would have been different.
Oh,
Not that you didn't
yeah,
have a good day, but
sure.
just like the
It would have been
stress
a lot
level.
more.
Yeah.
It was already organized because I'm an organized person, of course.
Yeah.
Like as being a planner, you probably should be. If
Yeah.
you're
If
very
you're not a
disorganized, like
yeah.
maybe revisit your planner.
That's why I'm not a planner.
You're like, surprise.
Yeah.
That's why I did this instead. But hindsight, oh my gosh, I would have given that person a list of things that they could have done so that I would have like had my mom with me or like I have a twin sister. Like I would have loved to have my sister with me more and like my dad with me more. But they were running around because they wanted to make sure the day was perfect for me.
Yeah.
But in reality, like I just wanted them to hang out with me.
Yeah.
So
It is a weird that's a weird in between of like you want to experience the day.
mhm.
And the more and more I do this, the more I'm like, "Ah, it's just the people. Like the people are so important."
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, how can we help our couples be in the moment more?
Mhm.
And like you said, like maybe mom, dad, sister, they're just hanging out. They're just there instead of
Yeah.
like doing a task.
Right. And actually, a large portion of my clients are actually parents that come to me and they're like, I already had a son or daughter get married.
Yeah,
I can't
a
do
bad
this
experience
again.
first, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And, I specifically think of this one mom who she called me and was like, my first daughter got married and I wasn't there when she put her dress on. There's no pictures of us getting ready
oh
together. She's like, I wasn't there before she went down the aisle. And she was just busy doing other things, like
yeah,
making sure the florist arrived, setting up the candles for the reception. And she got really, I could hear her voice crack like over the phone. And she's
oh
like, I don't have a single picture with just me and my daughter
yeah,
on her wedding day. And I was like, I'm really sorry because hindsight, of course, I'm so sorry for her, but like no one can change that. Like
yeah,
her daughter can't put her dress on again and be like, okay, mom, let's take a
yeah.
picture. So, yeah, that's a lot of why I love being a wedding planner because I can be like, everybody who's important, just stay
Just be
here,
here. Yeah,
hang out, like be in the moment. This day goes so dang
it
fast.
does.
Yeah, let me do that stuff. Let
Yeah,
my team handle all of that.
yeah.
Put
You're
us to
like, if it's
work.
not me, it's my team.
No, yeah. And then I get on the walkie talkie. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you guys hear that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
No, I love that. There was like some early weddings for you. What were those like when you were kind of like, maybe even the ones where you were kind of doing a business, but not really like in the business, but like,
Sure.
what did those first couple weddings look like for you?
Um, it's funny because I guess I would say I'm again very organized, but I felt like I needed to be there for everything. Like we do the rehearsal the day before.
Okay.
So I was there for all of that. I would be there like if they were setting up things, I'd help set up. Like and then the next day, if the girls are getting up at 7 in the morning, be like, okay, I'll be there at 7:30. And then I would literally be like the one there at 11 o'clock, like breaking
Yeah.
down. And by the end of the day, I'd have like 30,000 steps. And I remember very early in the wedding planning career that we've had, I just felt like I needed to be there the whole time. And I'm like, okay, now that I trust myself a lot more, I trust the girls. We're so organized, but we also help the rest of the bridal party and the
Yeah.
parents and like they get our timelines. We print them for them. We're like, you can do this. We'll be here at 11.
Yeah.
We will normally leave at this time. So I think at the beginning of the process, I just like couldn't pull myself away. Now it's like, I'm your wedding planner. I'm going to be there for you, but I'm not going to be there at 7:30 when you wake up.
Yeah. Definitely don't need to be there when they're having breakfast.
No, literally. It was 7 the makeup artist wouldn't even be there yet. I'm like, I have to make sure they arrive.
You're
And
like, hello,
I'm like, it's me.
it's me. No, it's just so funny what we did. I mean, planning, videography, like those first couple weddings. I look back and I'm like, Oh man, what were you doing?
No, I like, when I scroll back into my Instagram feed, I look back at, like, the gosh awful filters I used on those photos, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Bethany, what were you
What were you thinking?
what were you thinking?"
Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious what you like. What do you love most about planning weddings?
Oh my goodness. I we could just do a whole other episode of why I love this. I like I mentioned, I like being able to let the family and the friends like be truly with the bride and the groom. And I mean, this isn't my full-time job, but I can't get away from this because I genuinely love like being able to give someone the absolute best wedding day. This day is so dang important. It's going to be like top 2 days of your
Yeah.
life. Maybe like maybe having a kid is the top day or
Yeah.
like um but just being able to genuinely have things organized, make sure I divert any problems during the day that at the end of the day the couple looks at you and was like, this day was literally perfect. In the back of my mind, I was like, "Mm,
Put out like 6 fires, but
literally, it was dumpster fire earlier. It's all put out, smoldering at this
yeah,
point, but
you're
you had
like,
a great
yeah, it
day."
was fantastic, wasn't it?
No, I'm like, "Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Not a thing went wrong." That's so wrong. That's but they don't need to know that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It is funny how much can go wrong. And if you're the person
mhm,
that's in charge of fixing it, which oftentimes if you don't have some sort of planner, day of coordinator, people are gonna see problems and come to the bride and say, "Hey, what do you want to do?"
mhm.
Sounds like what you're saying is like you're the in the middle of that and like deflecting
Yeah.
from that question, getting to the bride,
Mhm.
just so that
Oh, 100%.
they don't need to worry about it.
That's part of our process too, is whenever we meet with the couple, we're like, for the groom and for the bride, because he's equally as important.
Hmm.
We're like, who is your point of contact? Is it your maid of honor? Is it your best man? Like, who are we going to use day of and even week of to be like, hey, we need these decisions to be made, or, this was an issue. Would they like option A or B? So that you're not making more decisions that week of the wedding or even on your wedding day. You have no idea. We
Yeah.
really kind of like use and abuse the maid of honor and the best man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because there probably are some things that maybe you'd want to check to see, like, hey, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? But
yeah.
it's getting through a filter first.
Yeah.
Um, can you explain to me and maybe the people listening or watching, like, what are all of the different planning related things that you actually offer? Because there's
Yeah.
kind of some
It's
different
like tears and
categories. Yeah.
yeah. So, the beauty of wedding planning is that you can go like you can have a wedding planner who literally is just helping you plan, like, and that is that. Or you can have a wedding planner that does everything for you. You show up and get married.
Yeah.
And in the State College area here, we have so many awesome wedding planners, but we all have our niche. And
Okay.
like, there's one that I'm thinking of. She is designed like, oh my gosh, her weddings gorgeous, but there's brides that go to her and they're like, "I wanna show up," and she's like, "Say less." And then there's another wedding planner I'm thinking of, and she has a whole team with her. So it's like they'll run errands, they'll pick up things for you that week.
Gotcha.
She's got people everywhere. And just when you think that she doesn't have more people,
Someone
she
shows up.
does. Someone else shows up. So, but specifically like for Bethany Cower events, we are mostly part of just the planning process and then day and week of. So we don't have like a day of coordinating package. We have it's about 3 weeks before is our lowest package. We could just call
Okay.
it because we can't jump on with you the Monday before your wedding and help you do anything. We
Yeah.
really need to have our
Can
hands
you
in more in
explain
depth.
like
Sure.
why? Because if a
Yeah.
bride's like, but why can't you?
Yeah.
Like, what is it that's like, that's not gonna work?
Sure. So a lot of the times by that Monday, all of your vendors, everything's already set. Like the florals are already bought. They've already purchased those flowers in bulk and they might even be partially made for you at that point. So we can't change anything there. Catering, we're not changing catering numbers there. We can't really help you with anything with the DJ. There's nothing we can help you with the timeline. Like if people rental wise, if you need rentals, have some hookups, but there's a really slim chance that I can get you a tent for a rain. If it's raining, like if we need to get a tent for your ceremony, I can't get that on a Monday and have it for you Saturday.
Yeah.
There just needs to be more communication to make the day much smoother. And also, like when I'm signing on with you, I'm ready to put my name on your wedding with you.
Yeah.
That I helped you with this, and I wanna make sure that it's, like, genuinely the smoothest, most planned out day. I can't do that the Monday
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Yeah. I know some couples are listening and they're probably like, it is hectic. Like that
Yeah.
week. Like I'm meeting with the bride tomorrow for Friday. But
Yeah.
it got down to the wire
Mhm.
and sometimes that happens, but
Mhm.
what's that 3-week process? Like how is that different from that like Monday before it's not going to work? What's that
Yeah.
3-week process look like?
So about a month or 3 weeks before, it just kind of depends on their schedules. We jump on and we have a pretty long phone call, but it goes through everything. We talk about all your vendors, what they're bringing, what we need to make sure you have for them. It talks about like timelines. What does it look like, not just for the day of the wedding, but also what it looks like the rehearsal too. As you know, like a lot of venues are kind of going to like, we're doing a Friday wedding and a Saturday wedding. So it's
Yeah,
like
no
if you want,
rehearsals.
yeah, no rehearsals. And I was like, oh
Well,
my,
no rehearsals at the venue.
sure, right. Or you could do a Thursday rehearsal. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's kind of
It's kind
crazy.
of why I like the Harmony Forge. Get the whole weekend. Uh,
Whole
Just a little another
weekend.
little ad spot there.
I know, right? Sliding that
We
in
had
here.
that at our venue
Yeah,
and it just like we could set up stuff Friday. We did a lot of DIY stuff.
sure.
So if you can do that. You can also
Yeah.
have a planner do stuff for you. But um the weekend thing, it's so nice.
Oh, yeah. And also, like Friday, getting all of that done and over with, it just is like,
Yeah.
okay.
So Fridays most likely if it's a Saturday wedding, Friday's gonna be your like
Rehearsal,
rehearsal.
setup
Yeah.
time. And then, so we just go through like timelines. We make sure that, but also within that 3 weeks, we're reaching out to vendors. We're like, hey, I want to follow up with you. The final guest count is X, Y, and Z. Like, caterer, we only need this much food. That'll save you money.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go to the rental company and be like, hey, we don't need 250 chairs. We need 235.
And they're gonna
It's
bring
15
250
chairs
unless you say
unless
otherwise.
you follow up with them. Like, we don't need 300 chargers. We need 250. So, like, we're knocking down the numbers to what it actually is so that we're not wasting any money.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's getting rid of an entire table, which sounds crazy, but that's normally your 60-inch round. You don't need a
Mhm.
linen. You don't need a centerpiece. You don't need all of that china. Can save you a decent amount of money. So, within those 3 weeks, we're also reaching out to vendors like videographers,
Mhm.
photographers, and we say, "Hey, this is a tentative timeline, but I need to know if this is okay." And sometimes we adjust, we make some tweaks. If the photographer's like, "Actually, I'd like some more time here or less time here," we can make those
Yeah.
adjustments. And then once we get the okay from all the vendors, then we can send it out.
I will say timeline-wise, it is nice when there is one person at the top,
Mhm.
even if the photographer and we can talk about this in a second, even if the photographer is kind of giving you something, a framework or something that they would want in a timeline, but like if you're the point person, we all end up with one timeline. And that 3-week, month out process, it's not on you then to go and make all these connections and try to make sure that everyone has the same timeline.
Yeah.
For us as videographers, I'm gonna just like, hey, photographer, can I have your timeline? Because
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
need to make another. Like, why would I make another one
Right.
if
Yeah.
we see that everything's gonna fit?
Yeah.
Like, that's good to go.
And sometimes, like, and brides and grooms, they book out these vendors a year plus in advance.
Yeah,
Like, I've had a 2027 wedding inquiry. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Okay. So,
I barely know what I'm doing tomorrow.
no, literally, like, what am I eating for dinner tonight? Couldn't
Yeah,
tell you.
also couldn't tell you.
No idea. So, for us, like these vendors have been booked a year and a half, maybe in advance. And what used to be their contact information might have changed. So if I try to contact them the Monday before your wedding and I'm like, hey, this is the timeline,
Yeah,
and it's like crickets. I'm like, okay, is this guy coming?
yeah,
Do I need a
guys, you
backup?
need to know.
Yeah. And I don't have a lot of time to be like, then I'm sliding into an Instagram DM and I'm like, hey,
Hoping that they
I
respond.
don't do this, but like, are you still who you say you are? Okay. Like, and then, so it's a lot to coordinate the week of your wedding while the bride and the groom were already wildly overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And we do have other packages too. Like, we have one that's 6 months. We just had a bride and groom from Nashville get married here in State College because they met at Penn State and their families were here.
Oh,
So
cool.
we had them do the 6 month package because we were literally like going to meetings for them. We
Yeah.
were visiting the venue for them. We were picking things and we were just having constant communication. So, um, I will say we have a larger package, which is we essentially plan the whole day for you. Not a lot of people want that though. A lot of people do have a vision for what they want their wedding day to look like. So we don't always say like you need this package, unless you just want to show up.
Yeah. So how do you, if a couple doesn't know what they want
Sure.
and you're just doing that like initial call maybe with them,
Yeah.
how do you help them figure out like, hey, a 1 month out thing is going to work for you, a 6 month thing is going to work for you, or like, no, you should definitely just like let
Yeah.
us take care of the whole thing.
A lot of times couples come to us and they're like, they come in like three different baskets. The one is, I absolutely don't know anything. I don't know that I care to know anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it looks like. And I'm thinking of a specific bride group that I had recently. And she literally was like, could you just make my wedding like the Parent Trap and I'll show up? And I was like, okay, so you would like the largest package. Okay, we can work
Okay,
with
yeah, we
this.
could do that.
Sure, that's okay. Still a really fun wedding. We love doing that too. But then we also have couples that come to us and they're like, "Hey, we got engaged a month or so ago. We already have 5 of our vendors picked out." I'm like, "You don't need us." I'm like, "You do need us a month before your wedding, but if
But
you
not right
are
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
not right now. And if you've already have all these vendors picked out, you know what you want, you know what it to look like I'm more than happy to help you a month before. Also, when you sign on with us, it's not like you can't, text, call, email, and be like, hey, just checking in. How do you feel about this versus this? Like, we don't ghost you until the month before your wedding.
Yeah.
Like, you have unlimited access to us.
Gotcha.
Um, but then there are also couples who come to us and they're like, I don't know what vendors I want. I don't know what I want it to look like. I don't even know where I want it to be. And I'm like, but they still want to be involved pretty
Yeah.
heavily. Those are the ones who are like, okay, 6 months might be good for us. So,
Yeah. No,
or if out of town too, like if you live in a different state, probably 6 months is good too.
it sounds like a great breakdown if you're listening, you're a couple and you're like, I don't even know where we fit. Like,
Yeah.
sounds like if you have a lot of stuff figured out, maybe that 1 month out is gonna be good. If
Yeah.
maybe you're out of town or kind of in
Don't
between,
really know what you want, but you want
yeah,
to be involved
kind
and
of
you,
6 months. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Can you explain what that like day of
Oh, yeah.
stuff looks like? It like coordination and maybe even touch on like the difference between like you guys coming and doing day of coordination,
Hmm.
a part of like at least that 1 month out, and like the difference between what a couple would experience with like a venue coordinator.
Sure.
Because I feel like there's this gray area of like,
Yeah, there is.
are they the same? Are they different? How are they different?
Right. It also very much depends on your venue. There's a venue in the area that we love working with, but truly like they just turn the lights on and you show up. You do everything else.
Yeah.
So they have the title of like a venue coordinator, but they really are just coordinating the weddings going on at the venue. But then you have people like Casey, who literally is running around all day.
Yeah.
But it's still helpful to have a wedding coordinator here because she's working on the grounds. Because this is a larger venue, like Casey's making sure that everything is looking the way it's supposed to be in the ceremony space, the reception space, like cocktail hour spaces. But grounds wise, like we're talking the flowers, the leaves, the wet benches, like
Yeah.
they're cleaning off all of that stuff. They're working on what the venue owns, but they're not touching on what your timeline is. They could care less if you're running late.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Casey would probably care. She
Yeah.
would help you. But there are a lot of venue coordinators who probably couldn't really care less if you're running late, and things like that. But whenever you bring a wedding planner on, like we show up in the morning, we make sure, of course, your hair and makeup is getting here, if you decide to do that here, or at a venue. And we, prior to that, create a spreadsheet who's going first, how long it's going to take. Like,
Yeah.
it's very organized down to like
Which we appreciate when that stuff's on time.
30-minute intervals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're also making sure, like, did the florist get here? When is the DJ coming here? Making sure the DJ has a table at the ceremony and the reception space, making sure that your rentals arrived. Like, do we have enough linens? That normally happens the Friday. Friday we count everything. Oh my gosh, when the caterer comes, we're making sure everybody follows the layout. Follow the layout, please. Oh, nothing makes me want to like
Yeah.
just, oh my goodness, I crawl sometimes when I like have a layout like taped to the bar. I'm like, follow the layout. It's I have right here for you.
Yeah.
And then they try to like set up somewhere. It's not the right space. I'm like, no,
Don't this is not a time to be different, people.
this is not your time.
This is not a time.
Oh my gosh. Making sure the bartender gets there, making sure, so that's just making sure all of the vendors get there in the morning
Yeah.
and they have what they need to set up.
So if you can imagine, if you're a bride, you're sitting there getting your hair done, makeup done, just chilling with your girls.
Yeah.
You don't need to be worrying about all these
It's a
people just
lot.
showing up.
Oh, I know. And you don't need your mom or your dad worrying about these people showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just had this was wow, 2 months ago. We had a wedding, and this was a 6-month package. So we like verified with the florist. We're like, hey, we need 4 bouquets. And she's like, okay, perfect. She edited the invoice. We got a new invoice. We're like, okay, cool. That's the other thing we do is make sure, you picked your bridesmaids and groomsmen a year and a half ago. Sometimes, like if a bridesmaid got pregnant, you're like, okay, you don't actually have to be in the wedding. Maybe just be a guest. Like that's one less bouquet. Like we have to
Yeah.
fix these things.
Yeah.
Um, and she only showed up with 3 bouquets, and we were like, "Ooh," so that's my job. I'm like, "Okay, we have to figure this out." So, like, we run to the reception space. We're, like, cherry picking flowers out of these centerpieces. Like, it still looks great, but I need another bouquet. So we make a bouquet, and you couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
But, like, that's not something a bride needs to know that we had to do this morning.
Yeah.
And that's not something your mom should be doing,
Yeah.
or your bridesmaids, or your sisters.
Yeah. So you can stay present,
Yeah.
be around for all the things.
And that's just the morning. Right? We haven't even
It's
gotten
just the
to
morning. Oh gosh.
we
I'm already
haven't
stressed.
even you're, like,
Just
crawling over
handle
there,
it
like,
for me.
"Oh, I'm already married, I don't have to do this again."
Oh man. No, I feel like there if you're not seeing the value after all that, I don't know what else we could say.
That's okay, to each their own,
Yeah.
truly. So, I mean, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I do really feel like if you don't want to worry about that stuff,
Mhm.
you find someone that's doing some sort of planning,
Yeah,
coordination. But it
right.
sounds like from what you're saying, to couples who maybe don't have any sort of coordinator, planner, or anything, maybe check with your venue like what the actual coordination is.
Sure. Mhm.
Is it light switching on and off, or is it like timeline help? And if it's
Yeah,
not timeline help and setup help,
right.
you want to figure out how that's all gonna work.
Sure, yeah,
Uh,
and especially too, like, with the guys, like, specifically Harmony Forge, another ad here, they get ready in a house that's, like, a little bit over to the side of the main house here, so it's like, we need a coordinator over there, some intermittently kinda popping in and out, like, "What are you doing?
what do you,
Are you
what
here?"
are you doing?
No, literally, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
Where are your boutonnieres? Are they on? No? We don't know where they're okay, we'll find them.
look at
We'll
the
get them for
yeah.
you." Or, like, it happened at this venue. I had a guy who was like, "I didn't get a pocket square." I was like, "Okay, I think you did. Let's go look." He's like, "No, I don't think I did." And I'm like, "Okay, so we lost your pocket square.
Yeah,
We gotta figure it out." So we did. We figured the cocktail napkins look, of course, identical. So we just like
love
hid
it.
it for some photos. No one knew. Bride didn't know until like a year later. She texted me. She was like, I had no idea that was a cocktail napkin. One of the groomsmen just told me, and I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
"That's you're not supposed to know these
Yeah, that's
things.
the point.
That's a secret. Don't tell anyone." But yeah, so that's the other thing is like, is the venue coordinator checking in on the guys? Like,
Yeah,
that he or she probably doesn't care that they're like outside golfing from 7 a to 11 a. But like, did someone tell them to wear sunscreen or they're gonna be sunburnt for the
with like
ceremony?
the
That's
baseball
happened.
hat
Yes.
line. Oh gosh.
With the sunglasses marks?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
love it.
okay.
It's
We learn.
yeah,
We listen
sometimes.
and we're listening and we're
Yeah,
learning.
yeah, definitely. What are some other questions that couples should be asking their
Yeah,
vendors to help them make sure they know what they're getting?
sure.
Um, Maybe just to help them find like the right vendor in
Yeah.
these different categories.
Ooh, that's a good question. We have a list for that.
Oh, there we go.
We do.
The
Um,
Bethany Cower events
there
list.
you go. Uh, so, oh goodness, it's very vendor specific.
Yeah,
But what I want to encourage with this question, I would totally encourage couples to not just go with the vendors that they see the most of. Like, so if you're from a smaller town, even a larger town, like you're so used to all of these vendors, like, there is a go-to florist, a go-to photographer,
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 go-to
Like
photographers.
everyone uses this person.
Literally. It's like, "Oh, so and so got married. We saw it on this social media because this is the person that
Yeah.
everyone is using." Like, everyone uses this venue, everyone uses this videographer or something. Um, and just because everybody uses them doesn't mean they're exactly who you want.
Mhm.
So I, again, love social media in a sense. It's like, go to their Instagram page. Is that actually who you want? Because if not, there are so many other options out there. You should look at them. You should talk with them. This is an example I like to use, especially with like engagement photos. Find a couple photographers you love and then get engagement photos with the photographer that you think you want for your wedding day, but it's kind of like an interview. It's
Mm.
like a trial run.
It
And
is for sure.
oh my gosh, and if you just are not vibing with that photographer, that's okay. You got great photos out of it, but maybe seek someone else out for your wedding day.
Yeah.
And you might need to do an engagement session with them or meet them for coffee and just talk with them.
I guarantee if you that's a great idea. I
Yeah.
guarantee if you ask a photographer for just to do engagement photos, they're not going to say no.
No.
It might be 300 to $500,
Yeah.
but if you're going to invest 5 or $6,000 into someone, you would
Yes.
probably want to try it first,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah. And if you come out of your engagement session, you're like, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially for the groom, it's kind of hard for them to warm up because, like, grooms aren't standing around with the boys, like, taking pictures all the
Yeah.
time. Like, us girls, we love that stuff. We're like, "Oh, we're getting engagement pictures and I'm living for this." Grooms are like, I'm doing this because I love
Yeah.
you. Um,
Don't actually want to be here, but I do love you.
but I do love you and you want to
Yeah.
do this. So, but truly, like, if the groom is like, "Ooh, I didn't like that photographer very much," or if the photographer's not cueing you because you feel like you're just standing there and your pictures just kind of look awkward, like, don't use them for your wedding. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't use them. This
Yeah.
is your wedding day. You should be so particular about
I mean,
this.
it goes right in line with the idea of like the photos could be the best photos
Yeah.
you've ever seen, but if the experience doesn't match,
Right.
or even like just it's good experience, but it could not match your vibe
Hmm.
either.
Yeah.
And like you're with that person all day, like
Yeah.
literally all day.
That person's work is going to be hanging on your living room
Yeah.
wall.
But like they're going to be there at all the most important moments. Are they
Yes.
going to be like
Sure.
intrusive, giving you like are they going to be hyping you up?
Yeah.
Like what do you want them to be
Do you
doing?
want them to be quiet and
Yeah.
not coach you through poses and what you're supposed to be doing? Do you want them to just like hit the shutter like the whole time, say nothing? Or do you want them to be like, move this way, move that way, come do this, come do
Yeah.
that? So,
That's
um,
a that's a I love I've never heard that before, but I
oh
love that
yeah.
idea.
Yeah. It's like, again, an interview. And that's like whenever we sign on with brides and grooms, we have a really long conversation. We're like, let's just call and talk. Let's talk about what you've gotten done and what you need from us. And if you think during the conversation we're a great fit, we love that. But if you don't think we're a good fit, that's okay. Like, we don't want you to just sign on with us so we get more weddings. Like, this is your wedding day.
Yeah.
You should again, we just talked about this. Like, you should fill it with the people that you really enjoy the most.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because you're crafting a day kind of based around the people, all these different vendor categories like coming together.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And the vendor world for weddings is crazy. The amount of personality
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a lot.
What would you say? I mean, couples have sometimes a hard choice to make
Hmm?
when they're looking at all these different vendors. We were talking about photographers, for example. It's like here's all these different photographers. All of their images are usually great. I mean, uh, there's a lot of great photographers taking a lot of great photos.
Yeah.
But when they're trying to find the right one, are there like red flags that they should be looking out for? And maybe not just specifically for photography, but just like
Sure.
in a general sense,
Yeah.
if a vendor does X, like, yeah,
Run.
run away.
Okay. So there's a couple avenues I could go with this, but I'm going to go with the avenue of if something is trendy, proceed with caution.
Okay.
So, because I say that because we were just talking about you put this picture on the wall, like
Hmm.
you will look at this picture forever. So, we went through that phase where everything was like so light, airy, and it was just like everyone was whitewashed. And sometimes looking back at those photos, we're like, we needed to chill out on the brightness slider.
Yeah.
Okay, we needed to like
Do you
calm
hear
down
that,
there.
photographers? Coming straight from the planner.
But then after that, like, everything is so whitewashed, we did a complete, like, flip where
Yeah.
everything was so dark, and it was just, like, I don't not Victorian, but I don't even know how to explain it, but it was moody,
Yeah. Dark and moody.
dark and moody, and people wanted dark and moody, and now I have nieces, they're 7 and 8, and I've shown them pictures. I'm like, "Hey, look at this wedding picture," and she was like, "Where did you get that?" And I was like, this was my friend's wedding. Like, look how cute I looked. And she was like, that picture looks old. And I was like, okay, that was rude
Oops.
because I'm still 20.
Yeah.
If in your eyes, I better be 20. But yeah, so I would just say proceed with caution. This is more towards photographers. Like,
Yeah.
if they're you want something to be timeless because you're going to have it hopefully forever. Um, Also, with photographers and videographers, I always say don't be stingy. The only thing you have at the end of your wedding day
Hmm.
is your photos and your videos. I know some planners might want to come for me after I say that. So, some planners will say it's a party, you need to pick the world's best DJ. It is a party,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna have the DJ at the end of the wedding, like, hanging out at your
This
house every
yeah, and you're not
Saturday.
saving, like, his mix to, like, play
No.
it over again. "Oh, remember when that, like"
Yeah, right? Wait, that's a great idea, though, I don't know, maybe we can
Oh,
start
maybe,
getting
yeah.
first dance mixes.
There you go.
I'll have to call a friend and be like, "Could you mix this song for their
Yeah.
first dance?" But, yeah, you don't have that, like, you're not gonna really probably put your dress on again. You're not going to eat the food that you had at your wedding again. You get the cake a year
Yeah, I was
later,
gonna
but
say, you got
it's
the cake. That's nice.
if if it's good.
Frozen.
Yeah, I'll let them find that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so um, red flags I think would be being too trendy.
Yeah.
Like, don't, unless that is what you want and you want like the on trend wedding, step back a little bit. Also, when photos look almost too perfect, a lot of couples come and they're like, hey, I have a Pinterest board. I'm like, okay, we have to have a 30-second talk. That is a very controlled environment. They're literally standing in a studio. There's someone there, like, meticulously putting flowers in their place, taking a petal away. They're
Yeah.
meticulously, like, fixing
Gotta
hair.
paint the picture of, like, a styled shoot where
Yeah.
a photographer is standing there. Right behind the photographer, there's a makeup artist,
Yes.
there's a hairstylist,
Sure
there's a
is.
florist,
Yeah.
there's probably more photographers,
Yeah. There's no
and
wind.
they're all
There's no
they're
sunshine.
all making it absolutely perfect
Yeah.
with all of the best stuff,
Oh my gosh.
and this might not be, like, where you're getting married.
Yeah, because I can't hairspray your flowers to a perfect stiffness that they stay exactly
Yeah.
the way you want them the whole time. So that's the other thing is if there is vendors that promise you absolute perfection, I would just like, proceed with caution.
Yeah.
So
What's it look like when you have couples, uh maybe they've booked a venue, it's in a style, but then they're showing you these pictures that are completely different style, and they're like, "I want that there."
yeah.
Like, how do you kind of
Oh,
manage that expectation of like, we're kind of talking about two different places?
yeah. And that's a little bit of the challenge to this world of wedding planning, but I love it because it's like you build a relationship with these people and you're like, listen, you hired me for my experience and I want to come to you and we need to talk about big picture. I'm thinking of a wedding that we did uh, back in the summertime and it was in an older it was gorgeous. It like had tons of windows. It was over a golf course. It was stunning, but it had like really old chairs. It had a really old crazy hotel carpet, like things like that. So what the pictures the bride were showing me, I was like, okay, I do see your vision here. But if we're going to make this vision come to life, we might need to look at doing draping. Like, I'm going to tell you chairs, world of a difference, change your chairs. maybe draw less of attention to the carpet in other ways. So sometimes that is hard. That
Yeah.
it happens a lot where there's like couples who are like, "Hey, I want to have this one style of a wedding. This is what I'm dreaming, but like this is the venue I ended up picking because this is the date that worked or this is the budget that worked."
Yeah.
So we do our best to mesh it. But you do need to be open minded to some suggestions to say, if we could use this draping, if we could do, these changes, we'll get closer to what your vision is.
Because we're not saying don't come with ideas.
No, we love the
Yeah.
ideas.
But I think it's more of a conversation of like, how do we take the ideas and
Like
figure
execute
out
them.
what the execution is and then expectations before the execution
Yeah,
and just like a little bit of a dose of reality of like maybe that is a style shoot or maybe it is a real wedding,
sure.
but how does that fit into the vibe of maybe where you've already booked
Yeah,
or the style that you're going for,
sure.
and just making sure that honestly expectations like if they know what they're going to get from you or
Yeah.
another vendor and they get that thing, generally everyone's pretty happy
Oh,
at that point.
absolutely. But also, there are some, couples that come and they're like, well, specifically brides will be like, I love these florals. And I'm like, okay, is there a budget you're thinking for florals? And they'll tell me an amount. And I'm like, you just told me you were okay with like $5,000 of florals. The picture you just sent me is a minimum of $35,000 of florals. Unless you're willing to add the additional 30K to that, we can't do
Do
this
that, yeah.
exact look. Like this is great for inspiration, but
Hmm.
we can't pull that into being
So we
reality.
start there and then go, here are the things that you can do
Yeah. Mhm.
with what you've given me.
Sure.
Um, keeping the trend that you started with budget, I'd love to
Yeah.
just like
Oh
open the can of worms,
yeah. Yeah.
talk about money.
Oh, weddings are cheap.
Yeah.
Everyone should
Well,
just
I just feel like there's this weird, like, we don't talk about it.
Oh,
Like,
I'm ready.
vendors don't talk about what they charge, like all this
Oh.
stuff. But I'm just curious, like, couples have never done this before.
Mhm.
Maybe they have a number in mind. Maybe they don't have a number in mind. Maybe they're trying to figure out like what's a normal number, but how do they manage all of the different things that they have to pay for
Sure.
with an idea of of a budget?
Yeah.
Like what do they where do they
How do you
start? What do they
how do
do?
you wrap your head around that?
Yeah,
No, I absolutely agree. So, I hate to say ChatGPT is your best friend, but
kind of.
it kind of is, especially because it will give you varying ranges of what each vendor's looking like. And from the wedding planner perspective, if you come to me and you're like, "Hey, our budget this," you let me say, you start picking some vendors and then you start to see the budget like actually form.
Okay.
Like you have something in your head and say that's like $30,000 wedding. And then you start picking your photographer and your videographer and the venue. And you're like, oh, shoot, I'm getting close to that number. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. So um, it's hard to even just put a price tag on a wedding because I've had a plethora of weddings here at this venue and the price ranges for those weddings has varied tremendously.
Yeah. So do you recommend that couples have that initial number first or should they start to kind of piece together and see if I picked my dream team, let's
Sure.
say, I'm going to be about this much and then I need to figure out florals and like the design stuff.
Yeah. I think having an honest conversation with your significant other or soon to be significant other will just say like, "Hey, this is a good budget I want to be at, but this is probably max of what we could do." And also sometimes families are like, "Hey, I want to cover this or I want to cover that." You need to it's kind of a hard conversation, but like saying, "Hey mom, hey dad, I'm getting married." Obviously, you should probably know that. Surprise.
Yeah.
um if you wanted to contribute in any way, like, obviously, I would love that, but we're creating a budget, so I just wanna know what that looks like. You just have to be upfront and honest. And then I would say kinda start with that number
Okay.
and then go in from there because you can always there are a lot of ways to save money
Okay.
in weddings, specifically, like, florals, you can save money when you pick your guest count, saves a lot of
Yeah.
money. Yeah, people are very shocked whenever you find out, you're like 20 guests less, which is going to be like $2,000 less
Yeah, I
if it's
mean,
like $100
the
a plate.
yeah, catering is by person
Yes, it
and
is.
it's not cheap.
And like we talked about earlier, like normally 8 people to a table. One less table, 8 less chairs. One less linen, one less centerpiece, less china.
Do you have recommendations on like who they invite? Is there like
Hmm.
a filter you have for them when they're like,
Sure.
Bethany, I just don't like,
My guest list is 500, but I can only have 100.
yeah.
um, Family and friends are important, but again, it's your wedding day. So who do you want to end up with on the dance floor at the end of the night?
I
You
love
know?
that.
Yeah.
Like if you're turning to the side and you're shaking your booty and you're like,
Who is
I'm so
that?
glad that you're here.
Yes, exactly. Like if you're on the dance floor and you're all like and people are about to raise you up in chairs and you look down and you don't know who anyone is, you're like, this is scary. This isn't good.
Is your name Gerald?
Well, who was that? And then like, your fiance's like, "Oh yeah, that's my mom's uncle's wife." And you're like, "Who is
What?
she? Never met her."
And she's holding me up by herself.
This she's crazy
Yeah.
strong. Yeah. So no, and honestly, as I've been doing wedding planning, I find that a lot of the very traditional things have kind of gone to the wayside. And I really appreciate parents of the bride and the groom when a lot of them genuinely just want you to have the best day.
Yeah.
And if your wedding is three-fourths of your families and they're just getting invited by default, well, then maybe that's a conversation to say, hey, mom and dad, you want to invite the entire reunion? And that's okay. We'd love to throw a banger, but you're going to need to upfront that cost because I just don't have that money and I'm not willing to get rid of my entire college friend group for
Yeah.
great Aunt
And
Jean.
but they do, parents, I love them, but they
Yeah,
have
they
expectations
do.
and they can be very, very different from yours. And if you
Sure.
don't talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get to the point where like you're picking the guest list and it needs to be done. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, oh,
Frustrated.
we have 100 extra people
Yeah.
and who's gonna pay for
What are we
that?
doing with them? Where are we
Because
putting
that's a
them?
100 times 100. That's a lot of money.
So I just goes back to when we're especially budget, you just have to have those hard conversations early.
Yeah.
I would encourage them early and um especially like with the guest list planning. Again, it's like your wedding day. Of course be respectful. Um but again, who do you want to party with you on the dance floor at the end of
Yeah.
the night?
Yeah. And I think there's a way to voice your opinion, if it's an opinion,
Yeah.
to whoever else might be helping like form the list
Sure.
to be like, hey, that's gonna cost us more money,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. But
Right.
like, we might need a little bit of help with that.
Yeah.
If let's say that 30 that you threw out before, like that's the number.
Mhm.
Do you have a recommendation like where does a couple take the first chunk out of the 30
Your
and what are
venue.
the venue? Okay.
Oh yeah. I would say also, so I sometimes it's a toss up and it's like brides and grooms will say like, "I fell in love with this venue. I have to have this venue." Okay, perfect. Get a date, find out the rest. Personally, I love when couples find their favorite photographer and videographer and they reach out and say, "What's your availability?" We love 3 venues. Um, and then you could say like, "Hey, I'm only available this date." Perfect. Only one venue is available that date. Match it up.
Gotcha.
And but the biggest chunk is gonna be your venue.
Okay. So kind of starting there.
Mhm.
Maybe if you have a photographer,
Yeah.
if you have a videographer, that's cool. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you should get a
Um,
videographer.
but if you have those two or three where it's like what dates are gonna work,
Mhm,
what's that number gonna be,
mhm.
and then you can kind of go from there,
Yeah,
figuring out like, okay, well, now we've spent 20 of the 30, we have 10 left to do decor, whatever else that might be.
sure,
And who
mhm.
knows, like maybe your venue comes with
Yeah,
the chairs, the linens, and all that stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Also, second to that is catering.
okay.
Huge number. Like we were talking about $100 per person,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And if you're having a 100-person wedding, that's $10,000
Yeah.
you're spending on food, and that's not sometimes even your bar. I hope you're sitting down while you're listening to
Yeah.
this podcast.
Sorry, I feel like we got really like
Wow, that got dark quick. You walked me down this
Yeah, I know.
dark hall
I
of
set you up. I
wedding
teed
planning.
you up. You're like, "That's gonna be 10. That's gonna be 10. That's gonna be 10."
Yeah.
No. I do hope that if you're a couple that's listening, you're at least just getting a framework for, like, budget's a thing,
Yeah.
money is a thing, the weddings
Yes.
do cost money.
And it adds up so quickly.
Yeah, and I do think if you have a framework to use to go into it,
Mhm.
you'll have expectations that are met and you'll have a better experience with it as opposed to being like, "Oh, this is only gonna cost $100." You're
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
I'll spend 200 on chairs. Wrong.
yeah,
Like if you want the nice chairs, we're talking like 650, 750 a chair
yeah,
per chair.
yeah,
That's and then also, especially when brides and grooms are picking wedding parties, like truly every decision you make based off your wedding has a cost. So I have a friend, she has 11 bridesmaids. I looked at her and said, Taylor, are you crazy? And she's like,
yes."
absolutely. I 100% am crazy. But she's like a very awesome person. So the 11 is even, shrinked down from what she could have. Um, but that's 11 people getting hair and makeup done. Hair, 125, makeup, 100. Are you tipping? Are you paying for them to do that?
Yeah,
Like if you'd like to do that, just know that's going to cost you,
couple of
250.
thousand bucks, yeah,
Yeah, per girl.
yeah,
So you got 10 girls, $2,500 that
yeah,
you're spending on hair and makeup
yeah, plus the tip.
plus the tip.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
I just you have to know this stuff before you start going or else you're gonna be I mean, some might not be shocked or like, "Whoa," but, like,
sure.
you might be, like, shocked or like, "Whoa," if
Yeah.
you're not in the know beforehand, and
Yeah.
most
Art in
most
the
couples aren't,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I don't know that I think I have one couple in my, like, 7 years of doing this that came back as, like, a second they were an older couple, wanted, like, a fun backyard wedding, but other than that, everyone's first timers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's normal to be first timer. We don't expect you to know all this.
yeah,
That's the other thing, like, just a reminder, when you think about a wedding planner, I just encourage you, call them, set up a phone call with them, pick our brains. I'm happy to chat weddings with you
yeah.
for an hour and a half on a Sunday.
Hopefully you are if you're a planner, because that's basically your job.
Yes, but, like, interview us.
Yeah,
Like, say ask us questions, do things like that, and, again, like, I can't encourage enough, just keep asking questions too. You can never ask too many.
yeah, and I don't mind the questions.
I
I
like
mean, I
them.
even just as a videographer, I don't mind the questions. Sometimes
Yeah.
when there aren't questions, I'm like, "Are we good?
Are
Are you
you
okay?
still
Are
getting
we
married?
okay? Am I good?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Are
We're
you
good?"
I just let me show. Okay. Okay.
Okay, no questions? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ask a couple times too when they don't have questions because I want them to have questions, but
Great.
you don't have to have questions, but if you do, we love them, and there's never a silly,
Totally appreciate that.
stupid question because there's
Can
you
I ask
guys
you a
don't know.
question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you like or dislike first looks
I love them.
as a videographer? You
I
love
love them. Yeah.
them. Yeah, me too.
Well, I love first looks with private vows, if I could
Yes.
clarify.
I normally have a tissue for the parents, but I'm literally like,
Yeah, no, it's those to me, we're as a videographer, my style has shifted a
mhm.
lot from like my first wedding film. I think there was still an emphasis on story,
Yeah.
but everything was very slow moving and
Mm.
like beauty focused, like cinematic. Just
Oh,
like moving like a
wow.
clip like that. And I feel like the more I've done it, the more I'm like, that's nice. And people can make videos like that.
Mhm.
Totally fine. But for me, I want more like people, story, dialogue.
Yeah.
The more dialogue I can get, like the more of the couple talking about each other and their journey together,
Yeah.
love it.
No, like I was there. I heard it and then I hear it in the video. I'm crying again.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
That's why
gosh.
we started interviewing our couples to get
Yes.
even more
Yeah.
of like, tell me about your first date. Tell me about meeting them. If someone didn't know this person, like how would you describe them?
I love oh my
And it's
gosh.
just like so you put that with like a private vow first look moment,
Yeah.
and then maybe they did letters or like
Yeah.
maybe like we did interviews with some guests at one of these weddings recently. Literally crushed it and like put this giant chunk of it at the end because he's talking about like this is I'm like getting goosebumps. This is the one time that all of your people are gonna be together and we love you so much and like all this stuff. And I was like, dude,
Um,
yes.
I need to could you send me this?
Yeah.
I wanna see this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Oh my gosh, I can't agree with you more. As a wedding planner, I love, love, love first looks. I totally respect the tradition of wanting like that first, like
Yeah.
coming down the aisle. But gosh dang, it's so personal.
Yeah.
And during your wedding day, there's so many people around, and rarely do you ever see the person you married on your wedding day, like
Yeah.
other than,
Yeah, so if you do a first look, you get probably an extra
oh
2
gosh,
or 3 hours sometimes.
yes,
I
you
say
do.
all of that, and Christina and I, my wife, we did not do a first
Wait,
look.
we didn't either.
Yeah. So we
That was
didn't do
9
it.
years ago. It wasn't, like, trendy then.
Yeah,
I
I
just said don't stay away from
yeah, say
trends,
what
but
we're doing.
here we are.
You're really just, like, getting yourself no, I do really appreciate the idea of a groom or a bride or both of them wanting to see each other for the first
Yes.
time that way.
Oh, it is like
I'm totally okay with it, but there are drawbacks for
mhm,
the rest of the logistics. So if you
yeah,
do wanna make that decision, just know it's gonna be more family photos after. We
mhm,
won't have any portrait time
mm-mm.
before, which sometimes is okay because the lighting can kinda
Yeah,
not be the greatest at that point, but,
sure.
um, yeah, totally fine with either, but I love the private vows.
Me
It's just,
too.
like,
There
so
are
special.
pros and cons to each, and do you care if we visit that?
Yeah, go for it.
So, pros with the first look, especially, like, as a wedding coordinator perspective, I take her and, like, photographers get the groom, we set you up, no one's around. We're literally like, "No, mom, bridesmaids, groomsmen, sisters,
Go.
brothers, scoot, scoot."
Yeah,
It is it's sometimes it's so quiet, and it's literally just the 2 of you, and there's no pressure.
yeah,
No pressure at all, and I find that the grooms are so much more emotional during a first look than they are when they're standing up there in front of 200
yeah, the
people.
pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I bawled like a baby, but there's a lot more pressure when you're in
Mhm.
front of
Yeah.
100, 200 people.
Yeah. Also, it just like gets the wiggles out.
Yeah,
Like, I think you anticipate, like it's just the hype. You haven't been talking to them all morning,
yeah,
all afternoon, and then like you finally get to see them, and they're just like, oh my gosh, like you're in that moment, you're like vulnerable with each other. Like, I'm so nervous. And the
yeah.
other one's like, I'm so nervous too. And like, we're nervous together.
Sounds like a
And
great film. You're just like narrating.
yes. And then they do the vows, and you're just like, okay, we don't even need to proceed with the rest of the day. Like,
Yeah,
I'm already crying over here.
yeah,
I feel like you get so much more usage out of your videographer and your photographer when
for
you do
sure.
first
Yeah,
looks. And again, like gets the jitters out. I mean, the con to it is that you don't get that, walking down the aisle and he sees you for
for
the
the
first
first
time.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the second
it can
time.
still be special.
Yeah.
And I do still love when private vows or like that private handwritten vow does still happen like at a ceremony.
Yeah, me too.
I it's better than the call and response in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's just so much more personal. I think for me, I just love anything that's more personal.
Yeah.
It's
Make your
more
wedding day your own.
about the couple
Yes.
and less like formalities, which is what I love. Like you can cut the cake, you
Yeah.
can toss a bouquet,
Right.
you can do a coupled entrance. But I love the like, we'll just cut the cake whenever. Like you come
Yeah.
over and film it, but like we'll
Right.
just cut it whenever.
We've been doing a lot of that actually, like silent cake cutting
Yeah,
is what we
like
call it. Like the
yeah,
DJ doesn't announce it. We wedding planners go find your parents. We're like, hey, we're cutting the cake.
yeah.
We like take pictures and
We're cutting
videos.
the
We
cake.
did. The cake has been cut. It's served, but no one knew yet. They
Yeah,
just took a dance break and there was cake at their seat.
yeah.
But yeah, I really love also with first looks, you're spending so much on this wedding, not to revisit that. But
We've gone past that.
not to remind you of that. But you oftentimes get to actually partake in your cocktail hour,
Yeah, for sure.
which is so fun to have
Yeah,
brides and grooms be able to like get a cocktail, socialize a little bit, and then you can actually like get in there. You do your entrances, we do your dances, we do your toasts, everybody eats, and then you're not being bombarded because you were already kind of bombarded at
yeah.
your cocktail
But
hour.
it's a fun like casual. You're just kind of meandering through the
Yes.
people as opposed to
Right.
like being like walked up on.
Right.
The thing that I hate the most is like just let them dance and have fun.
I know.
Please just let them dance and have fun.
Yeah.
When our grooms are out there shaking their booty, I'm like, do not do anything that's gonna get him off
Don't
the dance floor.
touch him.
Maybe go smoke a cigar, come back, but like just
Yes. Someone bring him something to drink because he's not allowed to leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I love when they just like let loose
Yeah.
after all of the stress of like the planning and
Mhm.
even like some of the stress of the morning is all
Yeah.
just like kind of done.
Yeah.
Formalities are done.
Right.
We don't need you for anything.
No,
Just like
like
have fun.
exactly. And after the ceremony, that's my first thing I remind them, like, you did it.
Yeah,
The rest from here on out is just fun. Like it's
for sure.
yeah.
Bethany, your take on everything has just been so exciting. We literally just took a break and I was like, this has been so cool. And I just want that to be on the podcast because I hope everyone that's listening, there's just been so many nuggets of wisdom and advice to help just plan the best day.
Yeah.
I'm curious, as we're kind of like landing the plane here,
Sure.
what's your like best takeaway, your best like last advice for couples?
Sure. Ask questions. Ask a million questions. And if you think you asked enough questions, ask more questions. Um Also, control the controllables. Like, on your wedding day, if something's out of your hands, it's okay. Um, Someone will take care of it. Hopefully, it's us.
Yeah.
But control what you can control. But the things that are out of your control, you have to let go. Just so that you can enjoy your wedding day truly, like 100% to the fullest. For
Yeah.
sure. Mhm.
I love that. Because there's going to be things that go wrong
Yes.
in
Will
your
you know they
control,
went wrong?
out of your control.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But there's going to be things that go wrong.
Yeah.
But you just got to focus in on the things that you can control
Yes.
and
Yeah, and
you're
your
good.
day is full of people who are celebrating you and
Yeah.
love you and like are just excited to party and
Yeah.
celebrate you getting married.
Yeah.
Um so for both of you, the bride and the groom, I realize a lot of what we're talking about kind of related to like bridesmaids, bride things, but I want to reinforce this. Grooms are just as important. This is a couple making a lot of these decisions.
Yeah.
And we do have a lot of grooms that are really involved. And we absolutely love that. And sometimes, like grooms, if you find your niche and you're like, listen, I don't really care about a lot of these decisions that she cares about, but I do care about X, Y, and Z. Please, please, please just tell us what you do care about because we would love to make that work for you.
Yeah.
Like your requests are just as important as her request. And if we can fulfill both of them, oh my gosh, you're sure to throw a
Yeah.
banger.
And I do feel like brides appreciate when their grooms
Yeah.
come up and say like, "Hey, don't really care about the flowers, but
Sure.
can I pick the DJ?"
Yeah.
Like when they are
Absolutely.
taking on that thing and it's exciting for
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a groom who wanted to do like pins or something like vintage pins. Like he
Oh,
loves
cool.
vintage. He was super into vintage. He's like, could I do vintage pins instead boutonnieres? And I was like, absolutely. I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's very you, very couple. Like specifically, you're changing something to make it more of your day. Yeah, we're full send.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Bethany, this has been so great. Like I said, I hope you guys have listening and watching. You've gotten so much from this episode. Where can people find and follow your work?
Yeah. Instagram, Bethany Cower Events. We are in the process of a name change.
Oh, rebrand.
I know, because we are having a lot of more assistant planners come on board. So it's like, it's under at Bethany Cower Events,
Okay,
but
if it changes,
sure,
I'll put the
it's,
new thing
yeah.
in the description.
Yeah. But if you see it's called the event edit, that's going to be like the transition.
Okay,
But you can find us on Wedding Wire and The Knot. Yep.
perfect.
Yeah.
And what's the best way for people to like reach out?
So definitely through Wedding Wire, if you do an inquiry, we get that directly to our email. And even on Instagram, you can, it says in the bio, no DMs, but if you slide in, it's okay. We'll forgive you because we know you listen to this
Yeah, there
podcast.
you go.
So we will forgive those ones.
If you
So
mention the podcast, a little extra street cred
there you
with
go.
the DMs.
Absolutely.
That's so fun. What's coming up for Bethany Cower
Oh my
events that
gosh.
you're excited about?
Um, a lot. I'm really excited. Um, Actually, this was about a week ago. I got a call from a bride and she's like, "Hey, I live in New York, but I have this like couple 100-acre animal sanctuary and I have a house there. It's pretty cool. I want to turn it into a wedding venue and I want to get
Like,
married, but I
yes.
want to use my wedding as like marketing for the wedding venue." And I was like, "Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me more."
Does your venue need a planner?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm really excited. I'm going out to visit just so we can like wrap our head around this. I'm probably going to be roping in another event planner designer in the area,
Awesome.
who is just like, this is right up her alley, and like our heads together. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that sounds
Um,
so fun.
but yeah, like she sent me pictures of all kinds of animals on this sanctuary and just, oh, it's stunning. So yeah, if you're in the central PA area, maybe more to come, fall 2026.
Yeah,
Mm.
I love that. Well, that's all for this episode. Appreciate everyone tuning in. And if you liked what you heard from Bethany, there's more to come
Yeah,
with the podcast. And we'll catch you guys next time on the preferred list.
cool. Thanks for having me.
Of course.